What is up, everybody, and welcome. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at a newer maker and a pretty impressive piece to be representing some of their first work. Now, this knife is on loan from my friend Mike at Heels with Steel on Instagram, and I don't know a ton about the knife. I did talk to Mike a little bit about it, but the maker is fairly new. He's fairly sort of reserved, so even though he has an Instagram and he's out there and you can find him, he's maybe not the most social maker that is out there. Now, I am given to understand, based on Mike's word, that this is the first flipper that this gentleman ever made. So the company is going by Cobalt Knives. And this knife is hand-built and out of Texas. Now, I've gone ahead and wiped this down so we can take a look at it, because the aesthetics for, I guess he was making fixed blades or something before, but this is his first flipper, and he absolutely knocked it out of the park. If every knife maker, if their first piece sort of was like this, we'd be living in a pretty crazy world, because this thing is bonkers. So the first thing you want to see are these crazy Timascus pivot screws, this beautiful hidden hardware Timascus dome. We have the same thing on this side. I'm assuming he makes that from scratch. Beautiful hand rub satin zirconium bolsters, and this gorgeous Timascus for the scales. Now, guys, this is going to be a shorter video. Again, don't know too much about the maker, but really what I wanted you to see is how beautiful the aesthetics are, how good the fit and finish is. Check out this giant floating gear pattern backspacer made out of Timascus. Guys, first flipper, dude. What? Look at the tolerances and sort of the finish work, the fit and finish all through here. And again, this is all hand done. Absolutely incredible. Unbelievable. When I was first opening the package and checking out this knife, I was just dumbfounded when I learned that it was his first folder, because or first flipper. I don't know if it's his first folder ever. But man, it's incredible. So my only real gripe with this knife is the shape of this clip. I don't particularly like clips that are so big. They just don't feel great in the hand, and why it needs to be swept sort of backwards this way, I'm not sure. Now, of course, it is going to appear very dressy, sort of as you wear it around in your pocket, so definitely consider that if that's something that you like. But I just maybe don't like that it came to a tip, and I wish that it perhaps had stayed below the bolster so that it did not interfere, because you can see in video especially, this clip pretty much is completely hidden against the frame, of course minus the screws, but then you can sort of see it come up here past the bolster. And just from a design perspective, I maybe would have cut that off at more of a shallow point, but of course that's such a minuscule gripe. Now, we do have a beautiful, well-centered Damascus blade. Look at how thick and chunky this thing is. Of course, I love that. I know a lot of people aren't really into that, but you guys know I love my Larevos and my thick Thorburns, so this little fatty right here is right up my alley. Let's take a look at this blade and watch how well the knife flips, just with me lightly sort of light switching the flipper tab. What? First flipper, guys, and the D10 is absolutely perfect on it. Beautiful mirror edge. Awesome flat swedge, flat grind, beautiful Damascus blade. It is on bearings, no lock stick, no nothing. Beautiful little chamfered liners, just absolutely click away perfectly. They fit flush when the D10 is up against the blade tang there. Absolutely gorgeous. Check this thing out. What? Little light shake, and check it out. That tiny little light blade absolutely sinks back into that frame. I have been so incredibly impressed with this knife. Just, I mean, there's a little bit of gap sort of in the bolster to scale, and it's not perfect, but as somebody's first flipper, for it to have a tuned detent, everything is hand finished beautifully. The fit and finish work is 90% there. I mean, it's really, really top notch. That gear pattern floating backspacer is absolutely gorgeous and not easy to pull off. The knife remains well centered. The action is fantastic. I can't say enough good things about this. So guys, I'm going to go ahead and post him right here at Cobalt Knives. Please go check him out on Instagram and consider talking to him about ordering a knife, because if this is any showing of the kind of stuff that he's capable of, you're absolutely going to want one in your collection. Of course, if you guys like to see beautiful pictures of this knife, you can check me out on Instagram at tovarishworks. You can check out the owner at Heels with Steel as well on Instagram and see pictures of this knife. And of course, if you guys would like to reach out to me for any reason whatsoever, you can do so by emailing me at tovarishworks@gmail.com. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I will see you next time.